Picture this. An old British lady, chuckling as she recounts a tale from yesteryear. Miss Belle Pum, her friends and their quirky pets embarked on a venture to a massive museum with 33 floors, but astonishingly, only one toilet. As they explored, their excitement wasn't just for finding that lone restroom, but for the legendary exhibit they uncovered. There it stood, an ancient oven, rumoured to have baked the very recipes we're delving into today. Imagine the bustling museum around us as we dive in. Now, back in our own kitchen, we embark on a journey inspired by that very oven. Today, we tackle 2 delightful recipes that promise to enchant your taste buds. Baking is not merely about following recipes. It's a ballet of precision and creativity. A chance to meld tradition with personal expression. On today's menu, we start with the crispy chocolate buns, a straightforward yet satisfying treat. Then, we shift to the tangy and tantalizing oven-baked sherbet pies with lime jam, perfect for those who relish a citrus twist. So, tie up your apron and preheat those ovens as we step into the shoes of culinary legends. First up, let's tackle a simple yet scrumptious treat, crispy chocolate buns. Imagine the crunch of Rice Krispies mixed with the smooth, sweet allure of golden syrup and white chocolate. That's what we're making today. Our ingredients are quite straightforward: 50 grams of white chocolate, 75 grams of Kellogg's Rice Krispies, and 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. We begin by getting our oven nicely warmed up. Preheat it to 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven is heating up, line a baking tray with parchment paper to ensure nothing sticks. Next, it's time to handle the chocolate and syrup. However, it's time to take a break from baking and return to our museum adventure. Let's catch up with Miss Belle Pum, who, after enjoying her tea and crispy cakes, finds herself in a bit of a pickle. Desperate to use the restroom, she does something none of us would dare to do in a museum. She pulls the fire alarm. As the alarm bells begin to shriek, pandemonium breaks out. Now, where were we? Yes! Take the white chocolate and melt it slowly in a glass bowl. This can be done in a microwave or over a pot of simmering water. Your call. In a separate bowl, do the same with the golden syrup. Remember, patience is the key here. Let them melt gently, stirring occasionally until smooth. Then comes the fun part: gradually add the Rice Krispies to the melted golden syrup. Stir them gently, ensuring each puff is nicely coated with that sticky, sweet syrup. This infusion will be the heart and soul of our crispy buns. Once our Rice Krispies are well dressed in golden syrup, spoon the mixture into mini muffin cases arranged on your prepared baking tray. Then, into the oven they go. Bake for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until they turn a lovely golden brown. After baking, let them sit until they cool. It's worth the wait. Once they've cooled, spread the melted white chocolate over each bun. Voila! Let these buns cool as we giggle over the comedic chaos caused by our desperate Miss Belle Pum. As we let our crispy chocolate buns cool, let's dive back into the chaotic yet humorous journey of Miss Belle Pum at the museum. Having indulged in too many cups of tea, Miss Belle finds herself in an urgent dash to the restroom. Picture this. She's on the 10th floor of an enormous labyrinth-like museum and the only available restroom, all the way down on the ground floor. With no time to waste, Miss Belle Pum begins her frantic descent. Elevators are too slow for her dire need, so she opts for the stairs, hurtling down flight after flight. But in her rush, she stumbles upon a particularly troublesome step. Arms flailing, she accidentally slams into a bright red object on the wall. Yes, the fire alarm. The alarm blares, lights flash, and chaos ensues. Visitors and staff alike start the orderly yet urgent evacuation, while our Miss Belle Pum, realizing her gaffe, tries to blend into the bewildered crowd, her face as red as the alarm she just triggered. Meanwhile, museum security scrambles to handle the situation, adding layers of comedic mishaps as they slip, slide, and rush around. As the alarm continues to wail, Miss Belle finally reaches the ground floor, only to find a long queue at the ladies' room. Comedy turns to calamity as she hops from one foot to the other, waiting for her turn. Just as she thinks things can't get more embarrassing, a security guard approaches, asking everyone about the alarm incident. Stay tuned as we see how Miss Belle handles this new hurdle. Will she confess to her accidental alarm-triggering escapade? Or will she find a clever way to escape this awkward situation? Let's find out after we check on our sherbet pies in the next scene. Next, we explore a zesty and unique creation, oven-baked sherbet pies with lime jam. This recipe is a delightful combination of sweet, tangy, and slightly earthy flavors that will surely leave your taste buds dancing. For the sherbet filling, you'll need sugar, lemon zest, orange zest, lime zest, optional citric acid for an extra tart kick, a dash of salt, lime juice, and a couple of eggs. The lime jam calls for large limes, sugar, and water, while the pie crust can be pre-made or homemade, depending on your preference. Oh, and let's not forget the secret ingredient, a small grated beetroot. Now let's get down to business. First, preheat your oven to 175 degrees Celsius. While the oven is heating up, start preparing the lime jam. Combine lime zest, lime juice, sugar and water in a saucepan and cook over medium heat. Stir occasionally until the mixture thickens into a jam-like consistency. Once it's ready, remove it from the heat and let it cool. Roll out your pie crust dough and cut it into circles that fit your pie molds or muffin tins. Line them carefully to ensure a snug fit. Now for the sherbet filling. In a mixing bowl, combine the sugar, lemon zest, orange zest, lime zest, citric acid, salt and grated beetroot. In another bowl, whisk together the lime juice and eggs. Gradually add this mixture to the dry ingredients, stirring until well combined. You should end up with a vibrant, zesty filling. Pour the sherbet filling into the prepared pie crusts, making sure to distribute it evenly. Pop these into the preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. You'll know they're ready when the filling is set and the crust turns a lovely golden brown. Once done, let the pies cool slightly before removing them from the molds. The aroma of freshly baked sherbet pies wafting through your kitchen is truly irresistible. But wait, we're not done yet. Once cooled, spoon a dollop of your homemade lime jam onto each pie. The tangy lime jam complements the sweet sherbet filling perfectly, adding an extra burst of citrusy goodness. And there you have it. Oven-baked sherbet pies with lime jam, a delightful dessert that's sure to impress. Whether you're serving them at a dinner party or enjoying one by yourself with a cup of tea, these pies are a treat for the senses. Allow these pies to enchant your palate as they cool, ready for the grand finale. As we tie together our day of baking delights, let's take one last stroll back to the museum, where our whimsical narrative continues. We find ourselves in the natural history section, a place brimming with ancient fossils and echoing tales of the past. Here, on the grand balcony overlooking a bustling crowd, poor Nuddles faces a sudden and urgent dilemma. The air is thick with the scent of history, possibly mixed with the lingering aroma of our oven-baked sherbet pies. Nuddles, still jittery from the earlier encounters and overwhelmed by the towering skeletons and the intense scrutiny of the crowd, feels a wave of nausea rising. Just as Ms. Bell Pum, her ever-watchful companion, leans in to offer some words of comfort, Nuddles, unable to hold back any longer, succumbs to her queasiness. In a less than graceful moment, she vomits over the balcony railing, much to the horror and surprise of the unsuspecting museum-goers below. The scene descends into chaos, with people scattering in every direction, dodging the unexpected downpour. Seizing the moment, Ms. Bell Pum, with a flair reminiscent of a quirky Italian film's climax, grabs Nuddles by the arm and declares it the perfect time for a dramatic exit. They dash through the corridors, weaving through ancient artifacts and bewildered visitors, their escape almost theatrical amidst the confusion. Laughter mixes with shouts as they disappear into the maze of exhibits, leaving behind a crowd drenched not just in dismay, but in the humour of the absurdity they've just witnessed. As they make their grand escape, the camera pans over the chaos, capturing the mix of expressions ranging from shock to amusement. It's a moment of unexpected liberation, a wild dash to freedom spurred by a comical misfortune. Nuddles might have lost her lunch, but in doing so, she's found the perfect diversion, orchestrating a memorable museum exit that will surely be talked about for ages. What a splendid baking session we've had. 2 recipes, each with their own unique charm. Before we wrap up, let's take one last unexpected turn, just like in our favourite poorly scripted Italian films. Remember our intriguing visit to the museum with Nuddles and Ms. Bell Pum? Well, as we conclude our culinary journey, Nuddles faces his own moment of reckoning. After being taunted once more by the same man who joked earlier, Nuddles, overwhelmed and branded a coward, makes a dramatic choice. From the museum balcony, in a fit of despair, he vomits onto the unsuspecting crowd below. The chaos that ensues is the perfect cover for him and Ms. Bell Pum to make their grand escape. Like the final scene of a quirky Italian movie, they dash away, leaving behind a trail of laughter, shock, and quite a bit of mess. What a day! filled with both delightful treats and unforgettable adventures. Cheerio and happy baking, or should we say, happy escaping.